Yeah, yeah.
Did you tell him first or did he tell you?
He told me.
Oh, that's nice. That's really... You started to blush. I will stop this line of questioning.
Still got it.
We still got it.
The second season of Meghan Markle's With Love, Meghan premiered on Netflix Tuesday, and the negative reviews from across the pond came pouring in.
Meghan is making bath salts, and there's literally no, it is the most bizarre thing. She's making candles for the first time. She's making bath salts and complimenting herself.
And I genuinely think no one even noticed. This didn't come up in my Netflix what to watch. I actually had to search for it, and it certainly didn't pop up on my Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I lost the will to live after the episode about making ice cubes, I'll be honest.
How do you make ice cubes?
yeah.
Pray tell.
The dislike ratio on this thing. When I took this screenshot, it had 451,000 views about, and only 3,500 likes. But there was almost 37,000 dislikes, 36,699 dislikes, which is a 91% dislike rate. One thing is for sure, no one asked for this. Nobody.
Well, darlings, the critics are united for once, and it is not in Meghan's favor. She says her Netflix comeback is so self-consumed it makes Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop look humble. She hijacks the oxygen in every room like she's auditioning for her own fragrance line. And even Meghan McCain, who used to stan her, calls the whole trailer utterly tone-deaf. And the show itself? Well, it's apparently ice cubes, scented candles, and a 91% dislike button workout routine. So tonight we're diving headfirst into Meghan's second season disaster, from critics calling it therapy-level bad to fans asking Netflix for their Wi-Fi back. Stick around because this isn't a cooking show, it's a roast. And Meghan's the main course served cold with extra bath salts.
The Independent says watching this is like being gaslit by a multimillionaire. And The Times says, With Love, Meghan review, season 2 is here. Start therapy now. And in my personal opinion, I'm just gonna tell you what my body was physically doing while trying to get through this show, and that was that is how I sleep next to Alan.
She was saying that at the same time as she was harvesting vegetables and fruit that had been grown for her by somebody else at somebody else's house. So again, it just goes back to this relatability factor, and I just don't see who it was appealing to.
I mean, there's often, in these cookery programs, they nearly always use a studio or whatever because, you don't want to have vast numbers of crew in your own house. So we understand that.
Now, this is Meghan and an entire production crew in full glam taking TikTok content or a Pinterest board and expanding it into a half-hour-long show, like this longer form content to a demographic that's developed a short attention span thanks to TikTok brain. It's a thing, you can Google it.
Critics didn't just roll their eyes. They rolled straight into the emergency room. She finds roasted Meghan for serving up tone-deaf lifestyle tips, like she's sprinkling fairy dust over a housing crisis. The Guardian called it painfully contrived, while she literally hijacks all the oxygen in the room. And the kicker, Meghan McCain, who once defended her, now says the whole Netflix trailer is utterly tone-deaf. Honey, when even Meghan McCain packs her bags from your fan club, you know the vibes are off. Instead of relatability, we get fruit picked by gardeners, candles poured by assistants, and a Pinterest board stretched longer than a royal carriage ride. Viewers don't see an everyday mom. They see Montecito Marie Antoinette telling us how to handwrite menus during a global cost of living crisis. Oh yes, darling, because that's what Gen Z was waiting for. Less TikTok, more parchment calligraphy.
She admitted, you can make a terrible chicken and someone is still going to appreciate the thought. Well, for Meghan Markle, it seems she can make a terrible meal or a terrible Netflix show and people will still tune in, if only to hate watch it.
But then Meghan made this mistake again, where she crowded that day and had multiple things released or announced or talked about on that same exact day. And this is a mistake because it doesn't allow a good spread throughout the news cycle. It minimizes the number of days that you will be coming up in the news cycle. Meghan, who lacked all consideration for her husband's family, culture, country, customs, way of life, She had zero consideration for them, but she's pontificating on it in this episode. Isn't that cute? Hypocrisy is the word.
Family traditions and recipes and things that you connect to. I wanted to share something with Samin.
Netflix wanted innovation. Instead, they got Meghan Markle's version of reheated leftovers. Experts say she sucked the oxygen out of the room, which is ironic because most viewers were gasping for air trying to stay awake. Cinema Blend points out even her former cheerleader Meghan McCain has had enough, calling the whole vibe a glossy fantasy at the worst possible time. Like, sis, the world is burning and you're over here handwriting menus and teaching us about homemade Cheez-Its. And let's talk PR strategy, because apparently even that flopped. She crammed her show launch, a product drop, and a Bloomberg interview all on the same day, hoping to drown the bad reviews. Spoiler alert, the only thing drowning was the audience in secondhand embarrassment. Reviews say people tuned in just to hate-watch the chaos. And honestly, Netflix should rename it With Hate Meghan at this point.
But she compliments herself constantly throughout this thing. Like when her makeup artist opens up I think it's preserves and takes a bite out of it, she looks back at him and she's like, it's so good. I mean, she's like, those are from my garden. It's so good. Like she's constantly patting herself on the back. Meghan Markle is Meghan Markle's biggest fan. So I'm so glad we finally found her. I've been waiting with bated breath to meet Meghan Markle's biggest fan.
As if he was like the highlight of season 1. And I kid you not, Daniel almost like loses his marbles, practically fainting over the idea of putting peanut butter on a s'more. I almost spit out my coffee.
You know, it was Meghan as a mother talking about how she likes to cook for them, look after them. They were preparing for a children's birthday party at one point. So they kind of loom very large, but also they featured heavily in the promotion of the programme. That she gave an interview to People magazine where she talked about them, and crucially on social media, on Instagram, there was a video of Princess Lilibet with Serena Williams and her children, and that was to promote the programme.
And here's the plot twist. Meghan doesn't even need haters because she's her own biggest fan. The She Finds review said the show feels like one long self-love letter with Meghan patting herself on the back for making jam or sprinkling edible flowers. Meanwhile, guests are fainting over peanut butter on a s'more like it's Michelin star magic. Darling, that's a snack from summer camp, not a revelation from the Duchess of DIY. But wait, it gets spicier. Experts told she leveraged Archie and Lily in promo even when they're not on camera. Cue the constant mama references and strategically timed birthday party chatter. Call it relatability if you want, but critics are calling it exploitation at best, PR camouflage at worst. Meghan wants us to believe this is a family-first lifestyle journey, but the receipts look more like branding boot camp for Team Sussex. Okay, let's pause, babes. What have we learned so far? Critics say Meghan's show is a snooze fest. Netflix got ratioed into oblivion, and even Meghan McCain is screaming tone-deaf louder than a fire alarm. And yet Meghan still thinks she's serving Martha Stewart in Montecito. But don't go anywhere, because up next, we're spilling how guest stars hijacked the spotlight, and why Meghan's DIY Duchess act might actually be Netflix's most expensive comedy special.
And given the fact that Meghan's show concept was already boring and stale, now having been sitting around for 13 months, it feels archaic at this point. And it also matters in terms of the editing. The trailer this time around is even more so heavily edited than the first one, like aggressively. These are guests who are very familiar with making television. Meghan was previously an actor, 7th on the call sheet, I believe it was. But she was a supporting actor, and she was not creating anything. She was not in charge of anything, and she was not the focus either. She wasn't like the main character in any of the scenes. This is a whole different can of worms, and she can't quite carry these episodes. That's established. It's unavoidable fact.
But it ended up, actually, we just heard far more about Meghan, and I think that was I personally would have liked to have had more jokes and hear more from Mindy Kaling, but it is the Meghan show that's made crystal clear. And if you like Meghan, hopefully you'll enjoy this programme. And if you don't, I wouldn't advise watching it.
That's a fair enough review, isn't it?
And there it is. Critics call it stale, viewers call it boring, and even experts admit it's really just the Meghan show, starring Meghan, produced by Meghan, narrated by Meghan, with love, Meghan. Might have been pitched as a lifestyle series, but it turned into an unintentional comedy special where the punchline is always the same: Meghan herself. So while Netflix keeps writing the checks, the audience keeps writing the obituaries for this brand. If Season 1 was curiosity, Season 2 is confirmation. Montecito's Queen Bee has buzzed herself right out of relevance. And that's today's Royal Roast, babes. Meghan's cooking show nobody ordered her Pinterest palace of bath salts. And of course, the critics begging Netflix to hit unsubscribe before the rest of us do. If you enjoyed watching Meghan burn toast in 4K, then smash that subscribe button, because we've got more hot tea coming faster than Harry's next book deal. Drop a comment. Do you think Netflix will renew this circus, or cancel it quicker than Meghan cancels Family Ties? And while you're here, click on one of these videos on screen, because trust me, the drama only gets juicier.